For those who have played Super Mario Sunshine, I'm sure it's no surprise that the piantas in the game are not the sharpest tool in the shed, as they're often seen on fire, constantly in need of assistance, and can't be bothered to clean up after themselves, when all they're literally doing is idling about in one spot. They seem to be incompetent on the surface, but what if, just maybe, things are not all as they seem? What if the piantas in Mario Sunshine are craftier than we perceive them to be? I will elaborate more on that, starting now. First off, in the very beginning of the game, it's immediately apparent that the entire landing airstrip is consumed with mysterious paint-like goop, and that's moving as quoted by the two toads. And a mysterious blue figure suspiciously resembling Mario seemed to be the culprit. After acquainting with Flood, who just so happens to be sitting there for no reason, as if he was just planted there on purpose to be discovered, Mario was able to defeat the giant goop monster, and you recover the first shine in the game. However, the celebration quickly comes to a halt as you are approached by two pianta officers who immediately apprehended Mario to be summoned into the courtroom. It seems more than just a mere coincidence that these officers happened to be walking by when Mario was present. It's almost as if they were called in as soon as Mario arrived at the airport because he was being watched from afar. Not to mention, the court session itself was obviously rigged. You mean to tell me that these piantas couldn't actually tell the difference between Shadow Mario and regular Mario? You know, one's completely covered in blue liquid with red eyes, and one isn't. There's no way these guys are that dense that they couldn't tell the difference. Mario is then sentenced to cleaning the entire island as punishment because apparently the shine sprites are scattered across different locations, including multiple on the island itself. Now, this is where the confusing part comes in. If these guys are so desperate to recover the precious shine sprites, why weren't they getting the ones that are literally behind the closed door and one inside a building? It would have been such an easy fix. All they needed were power tools to open a door and they would have gotten them. But nah, they prefer to stand around, dancing, and letting Mario do all the work. After recovering more shine sprites and allowing the island buildings to return to normal, the building with the two raccoons inside recovered from the mess, and this also raises more questions. In this establishment, you're supposed to trade in blue coins you found scattered throughout different worlds, and they give you in exchange shine sprites that they just so happen to be in possession of. You know, the very things the piantas needed in the first place? Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that the piantas have not apprehended these guys who literally stole a bunch of shines in exchange for money, and that they're not put in prison for screwing up the precious island big time? But Mario is the bad guy here. Yeah, okay. It's blatantly obvious that the piantas and the raccoons are conspiring together to scam foreigners into doing all their work, like cleaning for them, because they're too lazy to do it themselves. My theory is that Bowser Jr. knew Mario and friends were heading to Delfino Island and hired the island piantas and the raccoons to put on the phony display of being helpless and goo that he created himself with a brush, and punished Mario by making him clean the island, while making things exceptionally harder for Mario for no reason, like throwing him in the air and making him do menial tasks to waste even more of Mario's time for rescuing Peach, and other things like gathering fruit in exchange for blue coins, which are then used to trade in for shine sprites. You see my point here? The piantas themselves have possession of blue coins, which are then traded for shines that they are needed in the first place. If that's not shady, then I don't know what is. Basically what I'm trying to say is that Bowser Jr. orchestrated this whole mess to waste as much of Mario's time as possible so that he and Bowser can have a long family vacation together up in the sky. Bowser wasn't even to blame this time because he was just minding his own business while his son was the one who did all the planning from the start. Junior was just following his dad's footsteps, so this type of behavior is to be expected. The piantas and raccoons on the other hand have no excuse as they were in on it since the beginning too. Overall, Mario did not deserve to be treated this way in the game after everything he's been through in the past. The real people who should be locked up are the piantas and the raccoons, since they're the ones who stole the shines in the first place, and blame Mario for something he didn't even do. Hopefully, they won't partake in this type of behavior anymore in the future. With that being said, thank you for watching. Do you agree with my theory? Comment down below and please like and subscribe for more videos like these.